I'm not an elders quorum president.
That's because you don't have a
What does power look like in my life?
Church power looks like a man, talks like a man, and acts like a man. Take it from me.
Power in the priesthood.
Well, if you look at senior Mormon Church leadership, it's mostly white, heterosexual, cisgender, blood-sucking lawyers and greedy businessmen.
And I think it's a really valid question, and one that's worth considering for all of us, men and women.
I hate to break it to you, but you have no power in the church. You don't have the final say in literally anything. An 11-year-old deacon in the church has literally more power than the General Relief Society president. Just let that sink in.
And I wonder sometimes if the power in the priesthood is also sort of hidden in plain sight.
I've never seen a demonstration of the power of the priesthood, because God doesn't heal amputees. And any supposed priesthood power healing hasn't been confirmed by medical science. Faith healings conveniently only work for people who could have gotten better on their own.
But it's real.
That's just a bald-faced assertion. You'd need actual evidence to back up your baseless claim. But sure, we can pretend.
Where's the power in the priesthood?
She's finally asked the most important question. The answer? There is only human-invented power. There's no supernatural connection to Mormon priesthood. All of this is just a well-oiled hierarchical system designed to keep men in charge.
But is it also in the conversation Elder Eyring's mother has with him when he comes home from a date that he equates with his patriarchal blessing?
Henry equates it? That's not a demonstration of priesthood power. That's just another claim. Senior LDS leaders love to tell vague, unverifiable stories and expect all of us to just nod along. And let's not forget that Henry Eyring is the diabolical mastermind of the Ensign Peak scam. And we're supposed to take his moral counsel seriously?
Is it the prayer that you say for someone as a man or a woman?
Listen to me, your incantations are spectacularly unconvincing. Lots of people claim, and this is the key word here, claim that prayer works. Yet I've never seen a demonstration of its efficacy beyond the placebo effect.
I think it's also really important to understand that when we're talking about power in the priesthood, we are not talking about position.
Since the power of God is only in a person's mind, that's literally all that we're talking about here. The ability to have the final say in Mormon Church matters is for men only, and women just aren't invited to the table.
In fact, we're not talking about anything that looks like worldly power at all.
Finally, some honesty. Worldly power is demonstrable. She basically just admitted that priesthood power is imaginary.
In the world, power means you can amass all kinds of resources to yourself. The really powerful people are those got the most zeros behind their bank account amount.
It's funny that she mentions that. Russell Nelson is the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which is a corporation sole, S-O-L-E, meaning that he has control over all $300 billion of Mormon Church assets. He and his fellow blood-sucking lawyers and greedy businessmen have hoarded hundreds of billions of dollars, while giving only a microscopic fraction of that to charity. If only she recognized the irony of her position.
The really powerful people are those got the most zeros behind their bank account amount, or the most people who have to do what they say.
Oh, you mean like Russell Nelson's 30,000 full-time church employees? Or the 100,000 students across the BYU campuses? Or the 70,000 unpaid Mormon missionaries selling door-to-door Masonic underwear? Or maybe she just means the 18 million Mormon Church members who are conditioned to obey church leaders unconditionally. The irony here is just dripping.
Or who can command and control others, and they do it by reward and punishment a lot of times.
That's literally how the God that she worship operates. Rewards and punishment. Worship Mormon Jesus or burn forever in hell. Talk about your transactional relationship. Seems pretty worldly to me.
Power in the Lord, power in the priesthood. We distribute the resources to everyone fairly and equitably. We don't gather them all to ourselves.
Even if we accept the mostly unverified Caring for Those in Need report released in 2023 at face value, the church donates less than 0.5% of its vast wealth annually. That's the opposite of distributing resources fairly.
We help others choose what they want.
Under the threat of eternal damnation, what a generous offer.
We don't tell them that they have to do what we want.
I guess she forgot about Proposition 8, when the church spent millions of dollars helping to take away gay rights, or the church's seemingly endless legal battles trying to impose Mormon values on others. Her memory is conveniently selective.
We invite and persuade in all those adjectives from section 121 about how priesthood is to be used.
Well, it seems like a lot of priesthood power is used to cover up CSA. But sure, let's pretend that it's all sunshine and rainbows.
We don't command and demand.
On the contrary, the LDS Church has sued countless individuals and corporations and municipalities. Take the Fairview, Texas temple, for instance. If a small town doesn't want a giant Masonic temple in the middle of a residential neighborhood, the Mormon Church will command and demand that they obey under threat of litigation.
We don't control by reward and punishment. We inspire and motivate by love.
Except when it comes to allocating church resources. If you're a hungry person and you need some food from the bishop's storehouse, you're going to have to go through your Mormon bishop. And guess what? He might require you to attend church, clean chapel toilets on Saturdays, or sit through a bunch of tedious meetings first. That's literally control by reward and punishment.
That's the power that we're looking for.
All of this from this sister was just a convoluted way of saying the following. I have no authority in the Mormon Church, and I never will. The reality is quite simple. The Mormon Church is a deeply patriarchal and sexist organization to its core. So sister, let me help you out. You don't hold the priesthood because you're a woman. End of story.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.